Hello, wealthy women. It is Coach Tamara here. As you know, I have amazing interviews, but this one is really extra special because um, it relates to a part of my life that I have definitely had firsthand experience with. But without giving away all of the details, I'm going to pass over the camera and have it all explained to you why this is such an amazing thing for you to listen in, because it can definitely benefit your business or somebody else's that you know that might be looking for something like this. And then, as you know, we'll go ahead and get into the success questions about the inspiring journey of building the business of your dreams. So, okay, take it away. Tell us who you are, what you do, the name of your business, and then at the end, tell us your website where people can find more information.
Hi everyone, my name is Maree Santarossa. I am a custom exhibition stand builder, and my business is called 44 Projects, and that's 44, the word, projects.com is my website.
Wonderful. And can you tell us, like, what do you do? How do you help business owners? What is the programs that you can help women all over the world if they're interested in this type of expansion for their business?
Okay, part of my job is helping businesses design and build custom exhibition stands globally. I've done that for the last 20 years. My clients like my services a little bit more because I help them start from picking a stand and picking a show right through the marketing, helping them train their staff, and also prepping them for the show, and then also having the stand installed, dismantled, their show days, and their post-analytic stuff.
It's really amazing because there are many business owners that really do want to expand and be able to do trade shows or exhibitions. And it's just, I think it feels overwhelming for them because they don't know where to start. So you basically have a sort of a done for you all in one system that can lead them from the start to the finish. And maybe share a little bit about how that works. Like, tell us a little bit about your program.
Okay, so not everyone should actually go to a trade show, and there's a couple of reasons why. A, they can't sell face to face. So a trade show is about connection and face to face. So if you have issues selling face to face, a trade show is not your jam. On saying that, though, they are warm leads, and a trade show is full of warm leads. Just remember that it is very hard to get a warm lead. I also help people find a trade show, research a trade show to see if that they fit for that trade show, if their demographic is there. I also help them exclude a trade show. Why are you doing this trade show? A lot of them say because my competitors are there. Well, that's not a really good reason to actually go to a trade show. And then once they make that decision, then I help them find the perfect stand, because at the end of the day, if you have the perfect stand, the stand location, and there's a signs to it, and a lot of people don't know this, but the perfect stand is right in the middle of the show. It is not up the front, it's not at the back, it is not on the sides, because people bypass that. All the attendees, what they want to do is walk into that middle of that show and feel comfortable. And that's why you see all the big stands there. All the money is spent in those in the middle of the show, and that's where you want to be. You want to be as close to the middle as possible. So I teach you where to find a good stand. I also teach you how to sell from that stand. I also teach you how to prep your staff. And these are the things that before you actually get onto site, you need to know, and you need to organize. It's not just let's book a stand and we're going and we're spending $20,000, $30,000 and going, oh, we're going to get heaps of sales. It doesn't work like that. You have to work at this. You have to work at it.
I love that because you can help someone create the proper foundation beforehand so that they can make the most and get the most return on their investment, and rather than
Yeah.
just kind of wing it. I think a
Yeah.
lot of the listeners are probably wondering, is this only suitable for product-based business owners? Can you answer
No,
to that?
no, this is not. It's you've. I started in the pharmaceutical industry, so my main base is pharmaceutical, mining, tech, beauty is a big one. Natural products like organic products. It can be service based. I coached one of my clients in December to do Triple Play Realty Show down at Atlantic City, and he's a coach. And that was the first time he's ever exhibited. And he said to me, "I can't believe how much work goes into this, and what you need to do before you go to site and to make sure your stand is perfect to capture people's attention."
I love that you just mentioned that you worked with a coach, because a lot of the listeners here, many of them are coaches or in the healing industry, or business coaching and marketing and so forth. So this would really definitely appeal to them as well. And can you share, like, what would someone who doesn't necessarily have a tangible product in hand, how would they showcase their use of a stand if they are more of a service-based business, such as a coach is a perfect example?
Oh, okay. So your best bet is to get your message right and to get good graphics. Good graphics, a good message, and no clutter on your stand. And there's a way to actually set up your stand so people can see your stand uh, from a distance. The one thing you must do is get your message right and put one of the things is with graphics, with an exhibition stand, everything, all your information should be above waist level. Okay. I say 1 meter. I think I'm not quite sure what that is in feet. I did work it out for my coach who went to Triple Play. But I actually give, I have a course and I give the actual measurements and where they should place things on their stand. And to get the message right at eye level is the key to a good stand.
So tell me a little bit about this course that you just mentioned. Is this something that someone can get on their own to like figure it out on their own, or they can get the course and also work with you? Like, you have a couple different ways of, connecting with you and working with you.
Okay, so I have I with a custom stand builder, we tend to deal with people who have big budgets, right? Big stands, big budgets, and we travel all over the world to do these stands. And what I find is that what I found when I'm on site, and I think it's because I'm approachable and I look
Mhm.
like I know what I'm doing, which is sometimes not true, but most of the time,
You do.
people will come people will come up to me and go, "Oh, on site when I'm building with a client, you know, can you help me? Can you give me some tips about my stand? Can you tell me what I need to do here?" And I just feel for them because they're in a situation right at that start where they are so stressed. And the thing is, if you're so stressed now putting your stand in, then what are you going to be like selling your product or your service in the shows? And that's might be 3 days, it might be 5 days, it might be 1 or 2 days, but I can guarantee you, you're the person that is stressed with the install will also be stressed through the shows because they're so tired. And I want to eliminate that stress. And I thought to myself, what can I do for these people? Because they don't have the budget and organisers sometimes just don't worry about them. They take their money, they don't do much for them. And what they do, they get to site, they stress. So I thought to myself, what can I do? I can actually give somebody my 20 years experience in a course to make it affordable and they can do it themselves. It's self-paced And I thought, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a course. So I've just completed my course. It's up on my website if anyone wants to have a look at it. But it takes you through the stages of, from picking a show and right through marketing, training, sales, all that. So it goes through the whole stage of exhibitions. And then I've got also, if you really want me to, you want a more personalized service, I can coach you. And that's what I did with my client, Hal, who's absolutely wonderful. And then I've got my custom exhibition stand side of things. If you want a custom exhibition stand, I'm happy to design it and deliver it for you.
I love this because I think that maybe sometimes people that are listening right now are thinking, oh, wow, this is a $20,000 or $30,000 investment for the big companies. What do I do if I'm, a solopreneur? I'm a coach. I do want to get that visibility. I'd love to get in front of people and kind of have that face to face. But I guess this isn't for me because I don't have 20 or 30,000. And this is what I want to say. I love that you offer this because you have a course that's affordable for anybody to be able to figure it out on their own. And then they can always upgrade to more services on an as needed basis. But let me ask you one more thing that I imagine is probably going through the listeners' minds. And this, of course, has to be a rough estimate because it depends on location, time of year, size of the exhibition. But if you could give just in your experience, what have you seen as the most affordable little spot that they're going to do on their own? They're just renting a little spot to display their company information. I just want to let them know that it's not always going to be a $20,000 or $30,000 price tag, that it is feasible and possible. So, in your experience, can you give the lowest of low ends that you've seen someone pay for an exhibition area?
Oh, look, I've seen $1,200. I've seen $800. And you know what? It's not about these big shows either. What I do like about the global market here I'm based in Australia, everybody, but I work globally. In Australia, we have a season. So our season starts February to November. Okay, that's our exhibition season. But in the Northern Hemisphere, it goes all year round. And you can find a trade show, a small trade show in your area that's probably just an up and coming trade show. And they're the best because what happens is that you build a relationship with an organizer and you move and you grow with that organizer and you get a relationship with them. And as that show gets bigger, you get bigger. So find small shows and in your area. So things that you don't have to travel too far for, because some of these shows might be across the country. That's where the cost starts to get up. So and you can do a trade show, no word of a lie, with just graphics. If it's local, with just graphics and a couple of bits of furniture. You don't need much. I don't like furniture. I like a bar stool and a bar table. Everything else is, you don't really need it because you need to be standing up and smiling and meeting people. And, you probably get away with all your graphics and things like that for under a couple of grand. So it's not that hard. It's not that hard.
I'm so glad that you said this. And I just want to pipe in here because I do actually have some hands-on experience with it from my own prior business, the smaller side of things, like what you are speaking about right now with the local trade shows. Sometimes you can even go even lower priced exhibition. But when I was working with wedding planners and wedding vendors, I wanted to really know my craft. So I wound up going to a number of bridal shows. And so when you think about it, this is mostly a service-based business, right? They might have put on an exam, put up a display of plastic style wedding cake or their wedding book of all the cakes, or a wedding dress might have been there, but they're small tables. They're interacting with other vendors, with people in the know. Maybe the local newspapers coming out to film it, and you're getting your attention that way. And this is a great way. Back in the day, it's business cards and so forth. We've moved into some different, more high-tech stuff now. However, I have seen this, and it really is a great way, in an affordable way of doing it, to get your business out there. So whether you're like a coach, or you have a beauty business or a health
Mm,
style business, there's no reason why you can't start locally at small trade shows, get your feet wet, get this course so you know how to do it properly and make the most out of it. And then I have experience with the gigantic big money shows because my husband is in the aviation world, and I have been to so many different um you know exhibitions for
yeah.
aviation, whether it was helicopters or and all over the world, and it's very exciting.
Mm,
But this tends to be definitely where the big money bucks are, that you're talking about. So it's just nice to know that there is a range. And I have seen
mm,
firsthand how important this networking is, because as great as it
mm,
is to be online and be able to do this, and we're all so blessed that
mm.
we have this possibility to talk to anybody anywhere in the world. Like, hello, I'm in Europe, you're in Australia, and here we are,
Mm.
right? This is magnificent. But it also, when you get a chance to, touch the real world with real people and get handshakes going and conversations and build up those bonds, it will expand your business. So I highly
Yeah.
recommend this. Give it a
Oh,
try, even if you think that, oh, I'm a business coach, I don't need to go to a trade show, or I'm a
oh
health
no,
coach.
no,
You do get that
you do,
exposure, right?
you
And
do,
then
you
it
do.
also validates you know, you can share that you do have done trade shows on your site, and it gives another level of your expertise, so that
Yeah,
it's great marketing for you as well, to be able to say that you've done trade
yeah.
shows, so, or exhibitions. So I love this. So, okay, before we go into the success questions, can you just repeat your website one more time so they know how to go ahead and find out more information?
Yeah. So it's 44 FORTY FOUR projects with an S.com.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Well, wealthy women, we are going to get into some success questions now. And this is a very cool round I think we're going to have, because the style of business that you have is really exciting. You get to travel all over the world. You're helping people, you're helping them expand their visibility and their business and their communication skills and connections. And I think that that is just really cool. I want to learn a little bit more about your journey into that. So let's start with one of the foundational pieces, I believe, are empowering routines. I like to call them wealthy woman habits. So, can you give me an idea of what's the typical day of wealthy woman habits that you have? You start with a specific morning routine, an
Yeah.
evening routine, and go ahead and share how you think that also helps you build up your success and your focus.
Okay, so I'm a morning person. I'm not very good at night. I like to be in bed by 8:30. I think as I get older. So my morning routine is I get up around 5:30 and I drive this I know this sounds really weird, but I drive to a local cemetery and I walk my dog with my mother, and we do a couple of rounds and I come home. I then make sure I have a glass of water and I make breakfast, and then I sit down and I have use a best self diary, and I write down all the tasks I'm going to do and what I'm grateful for in my life. And then I write down the main tasks that are going to push me towards my goal. And that's what I do.
I
And then I
love
start work.
that. And you do this every day. This is
I
just
do.
really
I
great
do.
routine.
I also forgot to tell you that I do Wordle, and then I do all the puzzles in the New York Times, whatever app they've got, because I am a puzzle girl and I like to keep my brain ticking because uh, with exhibitions, with construction, because also do shop fitting, by the way. Uh, you're looking at plans, you're dealing with numbers, and you need to keep your mind ticking over
Yes.
and
Wow.
fresh.
I love that. I mean, yes, keep all
Mm,
of the muscles that we have going. Our brain is so important to keep revitalizing, and
Yeah.
whether it's reading or doing puzzles or all of those type of things. I think that's really good to do that, especially what, like you said, when you're building and there's architecture and numbers and all
Mm.
of the things. That's, you got to be on your toes on that. So
Yeah.
okay, let's see, what is our next question. This is a good one, and you could probably really answer to this, because I imagine some of the women that are listening to this like the idea of a trade show, but it took them so much courage just to do a Facebook Live to become visible. So they had that fear they had to break through, or maybe they haven't done that yet, getting live in front of the camera. But now adding in, let's say, a trade show or even speaking on stage of some sort. Can you share, how did you get past your own fear when that first arrived for you, whether it was the online, sharing of yourself online or in a trade show scenario, and how do you get over your own fear?
Okay, so when I was at school, I'm going to go way back. When I was at school, I was highly confident. I could talk a leg off a chair, and for a long time, I was like that. I could do presentations really confidently, and I wasn't scared to be on a stage. And then in my 20s, somebody told me something about me that they pointed something out about me, and then it just killed my confidence. And for a very long time, it took me a long time to get that confidence back. And to be honest, it's really hard to do these, to get on and in front of video, because I'm getting older. And, you look at yourself and go, oh, I'm not, 20 anymore. But at the end of the day, if you don't do it, you are going to miss out. So I made myself go to Toastmasters. So I
Wow.
do Toastmasters, and I also try and do little videos, and I'm doing podcasts with people that I don't know. So you're out of your comfort zone. And one of the things I'm trying to do is to present better and speak better. And I will only get better if I keep going. So you just got to keep going. And I made a goal for myself last year in March. I said to myself, you know what? I'm just going to do one thing a day that pushes my business along.
Mhm.
And then I've come up to doing podcasts. So I think this is my fourth one, and I started in November, and I'm enjoying them. I need to do more. And once you do more, you get better and better and better. And it'll be, like water off a duck's back. You'll look back and
I
go, oh,
love,
look.
I love this. And I would never know that this was only your fourth, because to me, you're just seasoned and expert at this already. And, I love what you said, that, a couple things that you said on this. The first one is set like one goal to move your business forward. Quite often we make ourselves so overwhelmed with a laundry list of things to do, and sometimes we get like a deer in headlights, and then we just freeze and we don't maybe do anything.
Mm,
Or we do two things and we give ourselves a hard time because we missed eight other things. And
yeah.
so I would like to suggest to all of you that this idea of one thing every day, one focus every day is so good,
Mm,
because you will complete it, and if you don't, you could move it to the next day, but you're going to feel so good. Set
yeah.
yourself up for success, not overwhelmed. That is, you may have those moments where you have so much power and motivation that you've done 10 things no problem, and you think, okay,
Yeah.
well, if I did it today, then I'm going to do it every single day. But our moods change, our energies change, and we don't always have that. And sometimes there's a lot of inspiration and you just have that momentum, but it might
Yeah.
not show up the next day, and that's okay. You're a
Mm,
human being, not a robot, not a machine. So just be lighter and easier on yourself. And really, it is about the consistency over time, not the weekend warrior stuff. And
no.
trust me, I've been the weekend warrior, especially in the gym, where I don't, I might have missed a couple months of exercise, and then I do 3 hours at once and can't walk for another week because I've done too many weights, and there's no point to this, and then it's not fun. So you have to make it enjoyable as well, right?
You
The
do.
other
And
thing is, oh, go
I was
ahead.
going to say, I was going to say one of the other things that I do in the morning, I bought a secondhand rowing machine and I love rowing. And I thought to myself, every time I get on this thing, I've got to put my shoes on, right? And I thought to myself, this is, one of the things is you've got to take away the friction.
Yes.
You have to take the
Speak to
friction
that. That's a
away.
very important conversation.
You do,
Go.
yes.
Yeah.
You have to take the friction out. And I was talking to my friend's son, who's a physiologist, and I said, I don't know, I've got this rowing machine and I love it, but I just don't want it to put my shoes on all the time. And he said, oh, just buy yourself a pair of Crocs.
There you
Crocs?
go.
I know.
Yes.
And so all I do now is they've stuck there permanently. I just slip my feet in and then I row, right?
Love
And then
this.
when when you get that slump in the afternoon or you get tired, I go and do 2 minutes of rowing.
Yeah. Yes. I
So
love this. Yes. I love what you said about get the friction out of the way. And
yeah,
I have a bike and I just go and in my slippers. Who cares? It doesn't hurt my
yeah, I
feet.
know.
It's okay. I'll it's more important that I exercise in my pajamas and my slippers. I mean, some
Yeah,
days it's gonna be the workout outfit and the sneakers, but more important is just to move a little bit, right? To get that
yeah,
energy flowing and take out that friction. And this, I mean, this is a whole different conversation, but maybe we should have it because this word
mm,
friction is very important. One of my
yes,
coaches is speaking on it right now, and it has to come, and this is important for all of us, it has to do with sales and taking away the
mm,
friction. And
yeah,
so often we, again, overwhelm things because maybe we're nervous or we're afraid. Some of the things
mm,
is maybe our copy's too long and we just beat around the beat around the
mm,
bush and we don't get to the call to action,
mm,
right?
yep,
And or maybe there's a thing we're afraid of, like calling somebody because we're hesitant, we're nervous. Sometimes the best way to get the friction out of the way is just make the call and deal with whatever comes of that instead of trying to overwhelm yourself with getting prepared and just
yeah.
adding more stress to yourself. Just because I love this word friction and I know it shows up for the entrepreneur, can you
Mhm.
talk maybe a little bit maybe let's say sales friction. Any tips on how
Oh
to get
yeah.
the friction out of there?
Oh yeah, the frick um that sales call, it's hard. And at exhibitions, right? And this is what it drives me insane. You've got attendees that actually go and pay to go there, but they don't want to be sold to. Just and that's it's hard. So I understand as a person who's got got an exhibition stand and trying to sell something, and people are just walking past. But the key is to get out there in the aisles, not stand on your stand. I'm going to go back to selling from an exhibition stand because it's important.
Mm-hmm.
Then don't stand on your stand. Don't sit down and look at your phone. Don't expect people to come up to you. You need to step off your stand out the front and you need to engage people walking past. And the thing is, what I notice is that uh, if you're smiling and saying hello, and you've got a warm aura around you, then people are going to stop and talk to you, especially at a trade show. Okay. When it comes to sales on the phone, I always think to myself, I learnt this trick off the guy's name's Ari Geller or something like that. He's based in Sydney. He's absolutely fantastic. And he said, always ask for help. So when you ring somebody up, I was wondering if you could help me. And people go, oh, okay, yep, what can I help you with? And but before you get there, you need to pick up the phone and just rip it off like a band-aid and go, I'm going to sell today. I'm just going to make one call. And that's what I did with my course as well. I've been calling organizers that I know to see if they would like to discuss my course. And it's hard, even though I know them and I've worked with them for 20 odd years. I still get that. But
Yeah.
I always say, can you help me? First up, hi, g'day, it's Maree. Can you help me with this? So,
Yeah, I love that because people do have a generous spirit and they always like to, show up. I One of the things I love, it took me a while because sales is it is a hot topic, right? But I got to a point where I was really honest. And I said, well, hold on, I know for a fact that my service is going to be helpful to somebody in some way
Yeah.
of service, right? And
Yeah.
so I have changed the tune to be that it's my responsibility to help others, to be of
Mm,
service. And here's the other part of it. As I know, grown adults are allowed to say no. They don't have to say yes to what you're
mm,
selling them. And
yeah.
so it's not you don't have to own all of the fear. These are grown-ups
Mm,
that you're speaking to, and they can just say, no, thank you. It's not for me. And that's okay.
yeah.
But you have to show up, especially when you know for a fact that you are doing a service that's going to make someone's life better, maybe the life
Mm,
of their family and generational help
mm,
down the line.
yeah.
And just show up and share, don't sell, share.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
know
Share.
that someone can say no, and then they know themselves enough that if it's not right for them, that's okay. You just also built up your muscle in getting better at communicating, so there's no loss whatsoever. And I don't know, that really has helped me when I switched the thought process from selling to
Mm,
sharing, servicing.
yeah,
That
that's a
made
good
all
idea.
the difference to me, because
Yeah,
then it's
that's a
like,
good
okay, I'm
idea.
not like this like car salesman person, which
Yeah.
everybody worries about being. But if someone didn't have my service, they might not get the things that would help them, right?
Yeah.
So, and like you have such a beautiful service. This is such a needed service, because for all the years before and for all the years ahead, people are doing trade shows. That's
Yeah,
always
they
going to
are.
be an element, right? And so the fact of the
85
matter,
billion a year.
yeah, and you have this service that can help people make it a better experience for
Mm,
themselves and others. I mean, it's just fantastic. So, you have to let people know about your work, because they really do need this kind of expert help that you have. And that's how I feel about all of you women. Whatever you're doing, you have decided you are passionate about it. It is your mission. You got good
mm,
at it. You're always getting better at it. You're steps ahead of someone else. That means that you are in a position to lead, to help. You don't have to be the perfect expert. You just need to be a
mm,
couple steps ahead of your client that needs you, and
yeah.
guide them and show up for them, because that's a beautiful thing when you know that your dream business is helping somebody else. And sure, maybe sometimes it doesn't help as much as you wish it would have helped that person, but that's just part of the equation. Not everything is going to be perfect, but if you know in your heart you're trying to do the right thing and be of service, then go full steam ahead with
Yeah.
that. Sorry, I got on my soapbox because I
No.
know this selling, especially I think for women, it's a little bit harder. We
Yeah.
we just need to put a womanly spin on it, I think, and tap into our natural energies. We don't have to be that go, go, go salesperson, make 100 calls a day and blah, blah, blah. That's not us. It doesn't have to be us. We can do it our own way, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
One of my clients, his sales team, a lot of them are ladies, and I watch them sell on exhibition stands, and they are far better than the blokes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They really are. And they're attentive. They answer questions. They're warm. They bring them into the stand. If they have a different level of, let's call it seduction, hey? Let's call it
Yeah.
seduction.
Or just, the whole nurturing part,
Yeah.
empathy, compassion, sensitivity, really listening. I mean, no, I know there's plenty of men that have that as well, so
Yeah.
we're not saying that, but this maybe just is a bit of a more natural experience for women to make that,
Yeah.
connection. And I think you're right, whatever you want to call it, is it's that ability that,
Yeah.
and you know what, it's because really care, we really want to help, and that translates, and people can sense that and feel that. So I love that. Okay, speaking of the soft side of things, a
Mhm.
lot of women, either in the beginning when they're trying to figure out, okay, what is my passion, what is my purpose, or even in the building of their business that they were once so passionate about, they hit a moment of pause where they're like, I'm not feeling it anymore. Can you share maybe how you have or suggest to others how they can kind of get back into that connection with their soul's purpose, whether it's finding it originally or
Mhm.
reigniting it when it's gone a little bit dull? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So um, I, for me personally, at the moment, it's the process. I'm enjoying the process. Put it this way, I don't like marketing. I have to do my own marketing. And I think to myself, okay, and that's, the one task a day. And that's what you need to do, one task a day, just to move you along and to get to ignite that spark again. Because I've done one task a day nearly for a year, and then it snowballed into a couple of tasks a day. And I'm like, oh, I'm really enjoying this. And when it took me a while to actually do my course, like write it out, do modules, do lessons. And I thought to myself, and I was procrastinating about recording it. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And you know what? I forgot that I bought Camtasia a few years ago, like 5 years ago. And I thought,
Mhm.
oh, I might use this. And I've got myself a Rhodes microphone, and I've got
Oh,
like
good
a little
stuff.
web. And then all of a sudden, bang. And I was loving it. I was loving it. I couldn't believe it. And because I also did, I've just I'm gonna tell you a bit about my personal life, but I also did theatre as well, and I really loved like the sound side of things. So the mixing and stuff for me was really, it got me back into that. Oh, yeah, this is really good. So I think it's the little things in life that give you the joy, that give you that spark, that bring you back to what you love. And then
Yes.
you'll realize that, you know, I can do this. I'm back on my track.
And also, what you just said is you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone and
Mm.
try a new thing like recording a course. You don't, you sometimes we assume we're not going to like the experience
Mm.
and then we get started and we're like, whoa, I love this. And I
Mm.
found the same thing. Sometimes I geek out about software and my husband or
Oh,
my
yeah.
mom look at me like, how are you excited about that? But I love it. It's
I
like,
love
and
to. Me too.
I love that. I proudly am excited about that. So I think that's really important. And the other thing, just kind of like going back to, this is your business. You
Mhm.
decided to do this because you wanted to experience certain things in life. And don't forget to keep on track with that. And so
Mm.
the whole idea is, what brings you joy? What is the easiest way I can do this? What is the most pleasurable way that I can do this? And don't overwhelm yourself. And
Yeah.
just make this your dream business. And if it started as your dream business and now it's kind of feeling a little stale and boring, then revisit those joyful
Oh,
things, like you said, right? And pull them in. Yeah.
yeah. I'm going to tell you something. I try to get
Yes.
out of this industry. I keep telling people I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. And it keeps pulling me back, pulling me back.
Yeah.
But it's just been the last year that I've started to enjoy it again. And
Yeah.
it's because I've got a different purpose. I don't have a purpose where I'm just building exhibition stands.
Yeah.
I'm helping people to create sales at a trade show, or an exhibition, or a market stand, same thing, or a little expo down the road, or a wedding show, because I also sew, and my teacher is a wedding dress designer, and she's like, I'm going to this show. I'm like, right, before you book anything, I want you to come and see me, and we'll go through the best location, everything that you need to do.
I love that. And what you
Mm.
just said was, you expanded upon what was already working. So if you're at a place in your business and it feels a little bit stale, that doesn't mean throw the business out. It means
Mm.
maybe add something to it that would be more rewarding for you. It could be really more focused on the soulful side of it, a teaching
Mm.
side of it. Just kind of honor your emotions if you're not
Mm.
feeling the feels, but figure out how to get back in touch. One of the things
Yeah.
that I do is I have one day, and it's on my calendar during the week, and it says inspiration day. Now, if I want to stay in bed and drink tea all day and read a book and do nothing, I can do that if that's my
Yeah.
inspired feeling. However, it might be, wow, I have this whole day. I really did want to create my email sequence. I've been putting it off. I feel the mood for it. Let me just create my whole nurture sequence or something. And so it is whatever it is. And you need to give yourself that reminder that you are not an employee of your
Yeah.
business, right? That you created this business for your
Yeah.
own freedom. So showcase that freedom. Maybe it's an
Mm.
inspiration hour. Do whatever you want for an hour. And don't be so calendared and strict, and allow
Yeah.
flow. Flow is so important,
Yeah.
because
It is.
I have had more often than not a day or 2 days or potentially even a week where I had nothing to give. And I'm like, I tried to
Mm.
force it, it wasn't coming. And I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I'm just going to roll with it. Those moments typically have shown me such new ideas because my brain was quiet. I wasn't in
Yeah.
busy work. And all of a sudden, ideas that created new ways in my business happened because of having a lazy day or a lazy
Yeah.
couple days or whatever it is. And so don't always beat yourself up if you can't get the momentum. Trust that process. There's a reason your mind and your body is stalling you,
Yeah.
because you're meant to be paying attention to a different experience that's trying to communicate with you. That's been my experience, at least, almost to the. And so now I just go with it. I trust it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to give myself a hard time. If I want to be lazy today, there's a reason for it. And it might just be
Yeah.
regenerating yourself so you have more to give when you go back to your work in a tougher way. So, yeah, what do you think about that? Yeah.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
that's exactly right.
Hmm.
I find that if I give myself space to be creative, because I am a creative soul, and things come really quickly and clearly. When I made a decision to start doing a course for what I do, was I was on site, and this woman came up to me and she was in tears, and I was putting graphics on with her. I said, I'll come and help you. And she was freaking out about how her graphic didn't marry up a little bit. I said, it's an exhibition stand. Don't worry about it. Your job is to calm down and for the next 4 days, sell your service, sell your product. I've helped you hang your graphics. And then a light bulb came on. And because she was so stressed, but I was in my zone. And it just went, okay, I need to do this
Yes.
because people need me.
Yes.
And there's a lot of them on site like this. And it was just a space of, that quiet zone. I'm in that zone. Here it comes. And I
Yeah.
think you've got to give yourself space. And it mightn't be sitting on the lounge reading a book or staring into space or on a mountain. It could be at your work
Yeah.
when chaos is
That's
happening,
right.
but you're in your zone.
That's right. Yes, I
Mm.
love that. So it doesn't, I love what you just said. It doesn't have to be in the whole, meadows with meditation and the sun and the birds chirping. It can be in the middle of crazy and you can feel it and sense it, like the aha moment, like, oh my goodness, and
Yeah,
make the connection. So, okay,
that's
two
right.
more questions for you before we head out.
Okay.
How did you first market your business when it was brand new? Like if you could only give one marketing tip to
Well, you're
get
not
that
going to
word
like this. So this year, is the first year I've actually had a website. So all my work has been referrals, and I think sometimes that's a testament of who I am and
sure.
what I can do. But the thing is, if I marketed myself 20 years ago, I think I would be a multi-millionaire by now. But
Yeah,
but when you're younger, you just do what you have to do. And I think the best thing, and somebody said this to me, a guy called Kerwin Ray, who was a big coach here in Australia, and he passed away last year. I remember one thing that he said, just post anything. Just pull it off like a band-aid and post. Post at your work, post what you're doing, just post because it gets you moving, and social media is a big thing.
yeah,
And if you're not using social media, I think you're probably going to be left in the wake of other businesses. So just post anything. Just get out there and do a little post and say, this is what I do. This is what my day is like. And whatever you want to post.
I love that because, we have to consider, let's think of storefronts. I don't know, like Home Depot or McDonald's or, just Neiman Marcus, whatever it is. If they did not have a storefront showing up who they are, people can't come in and see what they have so they can buy it. So you have a virtual storefront, but people need to know you're there. So I love this idea of getting your posts out because, you can't hide. Neiman Marcus is in business because they're not hiding. They're showing up and say, here I am, come in, this is what we have. And again, people can decide if they want to buy or not, but Neiman Marcus is showing up and they're not being insecure and saying, oh, I don't want to sell. They're showing up in a beautiful way and leaving it up to the consumer to say, yes, I want to buy, or no, I don't want to buy. And they're not getting emotionally affected by it one way or the other. They're just providing a service, right? And showing up. So sometimes I think we forget to think that way, like we're storefronts no matter what. If people don't know about us, we can't be of service to them and help them, nor help our own businesses to grow. So cool. Love that. Love that. Okay. And the last question is, what would be your, outside of kind of what we just talked about, but what would be your number one professional tip for women to grow their businesses? And this can be strategy or soulful. What do you think it would be?
Oh,
Suggest?
I think just be yourself is the thing.
Yes. Yes.
Just be yourself and just do something, as I said, just do something every day. If it's getting too hard, just do something every day because we all live busy lives. But be yourself and, rip it off like a Band-Aid, whatever that must be. If it's a marketing thing, if it's a sales thing, and also find like-minded people. Find a tribe. Find somebody you can talk to about your stuff. Because I love talking about business. I love talking about money. And my financial planner, Nikki, she gave me permission to talk about money. And we talked about money and we talked about how we make it, how we lose it, how we do. Once you find somebody you can talk to that gets excited, it just catapults you.
Yes.
It does. It takes you.
That's an important point. Find your audience because we cannot expect our family members to get it, and that's okay. It's not meaning they're not supportive or they're bad people or they're all about themselves. It's just not the right conversation for them. And that's okay. You can go ahead and make your own little tribe that gets you, and that is more than enough. And it actually is even providing more freedom for you to just be you and share all the things, insecurities, confidences, all of the things, because they get it, because they're in it. And so it's even more beneficial for you to rely more on people that are in your tribe than necessarily your family and friends that are trying to get it and trying to understand, but it's just not their it's not their world, so they can only do so much. So I would say keep the expectations very low with family and friends. And if good comes from it, great. That's like icing on the cake. But really, you'll learn, if you haven't already, that it's better to communicate with people that are in the same genre, so, that just makes more sense, right? So,
it does. It does.
I love this interview. We really covered so much goodness. And I love so many of the things that you said, like couple highlights, like just start small. So like, even if it's exercise, just put in 5 minutes on the bike and I bet you'll go for half an hour. Only choose one thing to do for the day. You probably do three, or if you don't, that's okay too. Rip the Band-Aid off, because I'm telling you, the emotional exhaustion you cause yourself for something that's going to happen anyway. Save yourself that stress and grief, because that's your energy. That's your
Yep.
restore. That's how you just rip the band-aid off. Just get it all.
Yeah.
And it's never as bad as you think it is. Right. And,
Mm,
yeah, and do these morning routines, just, I love everything you said. And I love that you really made it clear that everybody can do trade shows. It's not just these
oh, yeah.
gigantic ones. So reach out one more time before we sign off. Just share your website one more time, and then we
Yep.
will. Yeah.
It's 44projects.com. So it's 40 FORTY projects with an S.com.
I want to thank you so much for this. This was beautiful. You are truly an inspiration. I love that you shared that some of these things are brand new, that you're just starting now in your business, which is amazing, because there is no better time than the present for whatever is inspiring you. And it doesn't matter age, nothing matters. Just go follow your heart and make it
Yeah.
happen. People
Yeah,
need you. You'll
absolutely.
figure it out, right? So,
That's
okay,
right.
well, yeah. On that note, I hope you are all truly beautifully inspired, because this was another great interview. And please go and check out all of these success stories. Listen, part of your morning routine can be now I have enough episodes on there. Listen to one success story every single day to start your morning off right, because these are women business owners just like you that are going through all of the things similar to you, and they are absolutely inspiring and will motivate you to go for your business dreams. And you'll also realize how many of these women can help you grow your own business. Maree is a perfect example. So reach out to them. They're all beautiful. They all have wonderful services that can help you grow, and or just make a nice business bestie, like communicate. So anyway, that is all for now. This is Coach Tamara from Wealthy Woman Every Day. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and I will see you next time with another beautiful success story. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
You are so welcome. It was a pleasure.